This is video number 88 for violin and viola players, and in this video we're going to learn to play a song that you're going to recognize. We're also going to learn a new thing called fermatas, okay? You're going to need a pencil for today, and we're going to be learning 143, the birthday song. This is Happy Birthday to You, okay? Now, first of all, it doesn't have the rhythm, happy birthday. There's one note that's missing. It's because we don't know how to play that particular rhythm yet, and we won't until book 2. But beyond that, it was actually a good thing to learn in this book. So they went ahead and did that. It's just, again, kind of like when you learned Ode to Joy. You didn't really learn it the way Beethoven wrote it because we didn't know that rhythm yet. But we almost could, so we would just went ahead and did it with some minor changes. Same thing here. First of all, look at 143. Now, there's a couple of things about this. First of all, we're in G major. But look, we're in 3/4 time. We haven't been in 3/4 time in a while. Only 3 beats in a measure. 3/4 time, and there's a pickup note. It's going to make things a little complicated. Okay, so 3/4 time, look at your pickup note. It's a quarter note. So I'm going to count to 1, 2, and then you play up bow on beat 3, okay? And you might notice when you hear me play this that it's not going to say happy birthday. It's going to, instead of happy birthday to you, it's going to be happy birthday to you. Okay, that's just how it is. If you want to play this for someone, and you want to make it so they recognize it and go, hey, what happened to that other note? Start down bow and just do what you know it sounds like. And wherever you have Ds, it's 2 Ds, okay? Or not every D, but you'll figure it out. Now, I don't want you actually to shadow bow just yet. I want you to follow along in your book, and that when there's a part in here that it's gonna sound like I'm playing the wrong rhythm. Not the happy birthday part, okay? I'm gonna play happy birthday instead of happy birthday like that's written. But you're gonna be like, hey, there's a note she didn't hold long enough. That's not what I'm used to singing. Well, when you sing this song, you do something called a fermata. And a fermata is when you hold a note longer than the value that's printed. Remember, the value is how many beats it gets. So if it's a quarter note, it gets more than 1 beat. It's not like adding a dot to the side and giving it 1.5 like we did with the dot and half notes. It's not like that. It's something totally different. This is kind of an undetermined amount of time. You know how when you sing happy birthday and you get to the person's name and you say their name for a long time? That's the fermata, okay? You're doing your fermata. You've been doing fermatas every time you sing happy birthday. You just didn't know it. So when this happens in music, if you're playing by yourself, you get to decide how long to hold that note that has the fermata above it. And I'll show you in a minute what a fermata looks like. If you're playing with a group, the conductor decides. If you've ever seen a conductor conduct an orchestra, you might have seen them do this at some point. When they conduct and they go like this, and sometimes they do this to be dramatic, you know, like this, but it's supposed to be really loud, and then they stop like this, okay? That's a fermata. We're holding the note for as long as the conductor decides. If you are playing the song, you hold the note for as long as you decide, as long as you want to play it for. If you're playing by yourself, if you're playing with a group, the leader does it. So just follow along. Don't try to shadow bow. Follow along in your book, and I want you to find the note that you think I should be holding longer, the note that the fermata belongs on. I'm going to count 1, 2, play up bow on 3, and 1, 2. That's sharp. Okay, last note was 2 beats. Should have been 2 beats, okay? Now, if you found it, great. If you didn't, I want you to count with me. The first note does not count as a measure. This is a viola book I'm using. Measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's that E right there. I'll show the violins in their book here in just a minute. Here's what I need you to draw on that E. It's 3 before the end. It's like a rainbow with a dot in the middle. Just like that. Whoops, right there. Okay? Draw that above that note. That is a sign for a fermata, and this is how we spell this. Fermata, F-E-R-M-A-T-A. This sign right here. And when that sign appears above a note, you hold it kind of undetermined length of time. A good rule of thumb is about 1.5, okay? Kind of like putting a dot. So why can't we just put a dot on it? Well, then it messes up the measures, okay? Because you can only have, in this case, 3 beats in a measure. So violins, let me show you what yours is going to look like. And if you want to pause it, you can. So again, 3 before the end. Find that E right there. If you want to pause it to make sure you get the right one, that's where that is, okay? Now you're ready to shadow bow with me. Again, it's called a fermata. You want to remember that. It teaches that to you in book 2. I like to teach it to you a little bit earlier. I think it's a great time to teach it. Okay, I'm going to count 1, 2. You're going to shadow bow with me on up bow on beat 3. And 1, 2. F sharp high. Now stretch the form. And hold this note, hold it. Now go. 1, 2, 2, off. Okay? So since you're playing with me, I'm going to decide how long you're going to hold it. Now, how are you going to know? I'm going to do this with my scroll like this. That'll help you know when to play. Okay? Now, the trickiest part, there's 2 tricky parts in here. Let's play the last 2 measures. By now, if you're not good at independent fingers, it's going to be a problem for you. Look at the last 2 measures. You got to slur from a B to a G. If you pick that finger up and your bow's still moving, extra sounds all over the place. B, G. Okay? Echo me the last 2 measures. Last 2 measures. B to G. And go. B, G. Now stretch the 4 for A, G, off. Try again. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, off. Okay? Now can you back up just 1 note, but just 1 note from the C natural, and it's going to be an up bow. In case you don't know, that C natural happens on beat 3. So I'm going to count 1, 2. You're going to play from the C, right after the fermata. Okay, right there. Okay, play with me. And C natural up bow. And 1, 2. Okay, try it again with me. Up bow, C natural, and 1, 2. Try it again. And 1, 2. 1, 2, off. Okay, make sure that half note only, last note only gets 2 beats, right? It's a half note. Now I want you to go before the end, count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should be looking at a down bow, D on the A string, 3 fingers on the A string. And I want you to play, start there and go to the fermata, okay? Play with me. This part's kind of tricky. D, B, G, independent fingers are going to help you out a lot here. Make sure you're doing them. Play with me from the 4 before the end. 1, ready, go. Now hold this E, hold the E. Try it again and go. To E, hold it and go. Okay, now this might be difficult for you to see and see your music at the same time, but watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to play from that same place, and then I want you to see how we're going to know when to stop that fermata, okay? If this were live, it'd be a lot easier, okay? Do 4 before the end and just watch, just watch. Holding that note. See that? Okay, now you might be able to see it out of the corner of your eye. It depends on where your music is compared to this computer screen. Try that with me. The last 4 measures. 1, 2, sorry, 1, ready, go. Hold the E and go. Okay, let's go from the beginning. If you need to practice, that's the hardest part of the song. If you need to practice, pause the video and practice so you're ready for us. Beginning, up bow, and 1, 2. 1, 2. hopefully you did well, and I would encourage you to try to learn that with that and to play for somebody at some point. You know, maybe it's just coincidence. Someone in your family has a birthday this week, or grandma, play it. You know, do a FaceTime call with her and play it for her. Man, she would love that. And you have to get her a gift because she'd be like, "Oh, baby," you know. Do that, okay? Impress people with all this work you've been doing, okay? So let me know if you have any questions on any of that stuff, okay?